Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewellyn here in our studios in Los Angeles with our guests who are from a company named Aviator Gear, which is headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida. You're going to find this amazing. I'd like you to meet our guests now. First, here on my left, the CEO of the company, Amanda Bauer, and on her left is Corey Bauer, who's the sales manager and actual founder of the company. Folks, welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
This is very interesting. Amanda, a short while ago, you had a chance to answer some questions about this company, Aviator Gear, from William Shatner. So let's pause and take a quick look at just a small portion of how that went, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's watch.
I understand, in a sense, that you've been helping to build America. What kind of products and services do you provide, and how is that moving America forward?
Mr. Shatner, the men and women of the U.S. military fight for our freedom every day. The sacrifices they make, the memories, friendships, and bonds they create will be with them for the rest of their lives. We create items that symbolize their strength, courage, and sacrifice, and that, Mr. Shatner, is how we are helping to move America forward.
You know, that's very interesting. What I gather is that what your company does, what Aviator Gear does, is create specialty items for the military, in essence. That's really what it's all about, right?
Absolutely. They're 100% customized specifically for that squadron.
And what kind of things are we talking about?
We do embroidered patches, challenge coins, and briefing sticks.
Okay. Well, in order to really understand, Corey, as a former F-15 pilot, and you were in the service for many years, you know this by heart. You really are the ones who created all of this. Let me show our audience what we're talking about. I hope I'm having that right. This is a military patch, right?
Correct.
Describe this for me and what the purpose is.
Well, that's a military emblem that is actually worn on a flight suit. So it's a uniform item that is worn usually on the sleeve of a flight suit, and the colors and the design is depicted in accordance with the Institute of Heraldry, and a lot of the patches go all the way back to World War I, and they're still active today.
Well, now tell me what is significant on this specific patch.
For that one, the color of the red, the color of the yellow, the type of font, all of that has to be correct because it is a military uniform item.
Is that supposed to be a Screaming Eagle or something like that?
That is. Then that's an electronic combat squadron stationed at Whidbey Island.
Okay, very good. Now let me show you a different one here. You're talking about these things going back into history. This is really pretty interesting. There's a lot of significance here on this one, right? Tell me about it.
That's right. The Hat in the Ring Squadron, the 94th Fighter Squadron, was actually Eddie Rickenbacker's squadron in World War I.
World War
one
I.
of the oldest fighter squadrons in the United States Air Force.
Still in existence today.
Absolutely. They fly the F-22.
The measures of that unit wear these on their sleeves.
That's right.
So every unit has a different design for their patch, right?
Correct.
I mean, there are just hundreds of patches, and here's another idea for you. This will give you, here's one, here's another one. They're very fascinating, and here's another one yet. So P-47 Thunderbolt, Heritage Flight, what was that?
That is a civilian organization that supports the air show. So a lot of times those are civilian owners and operators of those World War II warbirds, and they have a lot of times restored those aircraft airworthiness, and they do air shows.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Now here's another one. This is this is a Wasp, right? 43rd Tactical Fighter Squadron?
Absolutely. That's the American Hornets. They're stationed in Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, flying the F-22.
These are important. Why are they important?
That is the identity of the squadron, so it goes all the way back through their heritage and the history. It's a rich history that's going on almost 100 years, almost as long as flight.
Yeah.
And we are honored to be able to create these emblems, uniform items for them as they serve and fight for our freedom.
Now, Amanda, as I understand it, one of the key things then, you had the job, Corey, when you were in the service, to help find these and have them made for your unit, right?
That's right.
And every unit assigned somebody in the unit to get the patches made, have them designed and get them made. And it was a big problem for you, right?
That
You
is
didn't
right.
know where to go.
That's right.
So, Amanda, now you guys have formed this company, and you are like a one-stop shop for these military units.
Absolutely. We provide the basic necessities of what a squadron needs, which is the challenge coins, the patches, briefing sticks. So it's the necessities for the squadron.
And this is really a big deal. I mean, it may not seem like it in the surface, but you really are making this much, much easier for all these various squadrons. And you do this for all of the Air Force. You know, it would seem to me, you've got the Navy out there, you have the Marines and the Army. They probably do certain things too that you could be providing for them.
All branches of the military.
And I would imagine there's a civilian use as well. You mentioned challenge coins. There's a very interesting story on these. Let me hold one up. What is the significance of this? This is a pretty heavy coin. It's a solid coin. What's it made of?
Those are made of brass, and they have different platings.
Okay. What is this for? Corey, explain it.
That is, again, a token of the identity of the squadron. So they carry that around. If you're in that squadron and are given a challenge coin, you have to have that on your person at all times. If you're challenged and do not have that item on your person, then you owe everybody that is at that place where you receive the challenge a beverage of their choice.
If you're in a bar, you're buying the drinks for everybody then,
That's right.
Another key thing here. Take a look at this. This is every squadron. Whoops, sorry about that. A little jiggle for the camera, but that's all right. This is the 44th Fighter Squadron. Now this was your unit. And it has your name. That was your military nickname, right?
That's right.
Trap. Okay. And every pilot has a nickname, don't they? For the most part.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So you make the coffee mugs, and here's another thing. This is really interesting. Tell me about this. What is this?
That is a briefing stick used in debriefs. That is made in the Philippines. It's made out of solid mahogany wood. It's handcrafted just for that specific pilot or squadron. That one, I believe, is the
F-18.
F-18.
The F-18, and it is. They actually will put the pilot's name on the side. They have the as you can see on the tail. There's a number. That's the number of that plane.
Correct.
It's an exact replica of that plane,
100%,
hand carved.
Absolutely, 100% customized.
And when you say this is a training stick, as I understand, you use them in this kind of attitude. They would have another training stick.
That's right.
And they would be
Generally speaking.
maneuvering them, showing you what kind of formations to fly in. Is that right?
That's correct.
So it's a very useful tool.
That's right.
A training tool. And obviously, you know, the pilots who drive this plane, fly this plane, they drive it too, would love to have this. Do they
right.
keep them? Do they get them?
A lot of times they will get that as they'll collect all the different aircraft from the different squadrons they were in, both in the briefing sticks and our desktop models.
How about this one? Take a look at this. This is very handsome. I'm going to sit this down on the table so you can take a look at it. There are two of them here. But again, now this aircraft, this is, what model aircraft are we looking at?
That's the KC-10. It's one of our air refuelers.
This is a refueling, again, this is all mahogany, hand carved, and it's, again, exact replica. It's, you know, it looks like a toy, but it's much more than a toy.
Specific for that pilot.
Yeah. And here's another one. Let's take a look at this. Tell me about this little one.
That is the same thing. That's a T6 Texan, and it is one of our primary trainers. And you can see it's two-seat. The student pilot sits in the front. The instructor pilot sits in the rear.
And again, if you look down here on the base, here's the name of the pilot, right?
That's right.
Who signifying that this was his airplane that he flew in the military. It'd be great to put on a bookshelf in his office after he's retired or whatever. And if you were a pilot of this big aircraft, you'd love to have one of these. You know, the flyboys like these, don't they? Flyboys.
That is correct.
Yeah, pilots like them. Military people like them. Explain to me how these get designed and made. You do provide that service, right?
Absolutely. We do free design, and it can be the customer sending in a sketch on a cocktail napkin or us designing it from scratch. So it could also be a historical artwork from that squadron from World War I, or a current squadron for a Friday patch for a deployment.
Now, the other thing I know that's really key is a lot of these things, the colors have to be very specific. Or the military has really strict regulations, right? You just can't pick any color.
That's right.
And you guys know that. You know that what's right and what's not right. And then you send the designs you send them abroad to be made, to be executed and manufactured.
We have suppliers all over the world. We have found the best artisans that create all of our products,
Right.
and we provide that free artwork and design service, and then we have the highest quality products made throughout the world.
So when somebody sends you a design, I assume there are faxes going back and forth as you work on it and develop it until it works out, and they give you their approval.
Sure. The most is usually 3 to 4 iterations until we get it exactly right.
Well, you know, it's an absolutely great story. You've been doing this since 2005, and what kind of reaction do you get now from the guys in the military who you do this for? They must be thrilled that you're around to do this.
They are. A lot of times when they come to us, they're like, I cannot believe we haven't found you yet.
Yeah.
And they're really relieved when they do find us through word of mouth or a referral, because we really do take care of them, and we've got their back as their wingman.
Do you see other areas where you can use these services and promote these services? Are there other military in addition to the military? What do you think?
Absolutely, especially the challenge coin is really seemed to catch on for Fortune 500 companies. It's a esprit de corps.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, there's no question this is really class stuff. These are heavy. These coins are heavy.
Thank you.
And very useful. I can see these being used not only by the military, but by corporate clients as well. So it's been fascinating to hear all about this. And again, there are specific patches that are part of the military uniform that are worn on their dress outfit, but most of these others are worn on flight jackets and things like that,
That's right? That's right.
So it's just a totally different world, and it's really fascinating to hear about it. Thank you for stopping by to tell us about it. Again, you're headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes,
you're
sir.
down there where there are a lot of naval units, Air Force
Absolutely.
units, and things like that, so you're steeped in the military. So if anybody wants to find out and contact you, how do they do it?
Aviatorgear.com.
What's that again?
Aviatorgear.com.
Very simple.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.